Without the right story, there is no value.
It's full of so many different things.
There's no rules at all.
There's a large component of modular and electronic components to make this world work.
That night, everything changed.
I have a question for you guys. How did you guys get the hand movements in this film? I think the one thing in the animation that really sticks out to me is the hands in this film. And the other films I never noted, like Madame Tutli-Putli, you have the eyes that are really. I find this film is the hands. It's like there's something about
possible,
Because there's no
There's
eye movements in this one.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just like all the hands are like my favorite part of the animation in the entire film. Like they're always so pretty how they move. It's so wonderful.
Well, you know what the funny thing about that is that happened is that when we started working with the actors, they had also been in lockdown, right? So there was no theater going on, there were
Yeah.
no movies going on, and these people were starved for their moment in the light.
They haven't played. They
And we
hadn't
were the
played.
first people to have hired them since the shit went down. And so when they came to the studio, they had like 8 times the normal energy that they would normally. They weren't tired. They weren't running from one gig to another. They had nothing going on, and their batteries were fully charged. But they brought to the production a kind of a like hysterical energy.
I think when people work with us, they always assume that the animatic stage will be that it's like they're going to treat us like puppets. It's going to be very precise, and it's exactly the opposite of what we want because we know that the animation phase is going to be very precise.
Yeah.
we need them to be loose and playful. And just give us everything. Use the space. Go over here. Try it this way. Try it that way.
Yeah,
and
we film with like 3
Yeah.
cameras, 3 angles, so we have everything, and then we can choose after what's the best.
Yeah, when you're working with a great reference like Stéphane Demers gave us, you're not hobbled by that. You're not. It's not. There's nothing left. It's not like there's nothing left for you to do. It ends up being a real conversation. You're having a conversation with Stéphane Demers by interpreting Stéphane's gestures through the puppet, and no one wins there. Like there's not. It's not my work or Stéphane's at the end. It's a living puppet. And then if you're lucky enough, in this case with dialogue, then Colm Feore or James Hindman is the third element. And now you have, I think that's a wonderful thing about working with puppets and animation in general that actors don't get to experience, which is a character can be a conversation between 3 people that you as a viewer just think of as a character.
A story kind of works like a puppet in a way that where once you start building it, you start learning its preferences. There's some things that a puppet will not do, even if you try to force it to do. It will do what it wants to do. It's just built that way. There's certain gestures it can't do because of the way you've built it. And I think a story does that too. It will reject certain directions you want to go with it and inform you in its own sublime little way of where it wants to go. And so I don't think there was ever a moment where we said, let's make a fable. There's just one character avalanched into another, and then a location came, and then a conflict came. We knew that there has to be some kind of subversion, some kind of rot, some kind of something perverse would have to end it. And without the right story, there is no value.
The girl waited at the window all day, as if she thought some prince would come knocking at any moment. I was scared. The pawnbroker had planted a worm of doubt in me. It was just as he said. I was nothing.
Well, in terms of like the materiality of this, there's no rules at all. Like we go everything from like plastic 3D printing to clay to silicone to even the heads of the puppets, which are supposed to look like old wood, and they have this multi-layered oil painting, and they were made of Chivant. They're actually silicone molds and painted over a white plastic that we found.
And we go from like, the pawn shop, like it's full of so many different things, like from old little props that were made from Madame Tutli-Putli to things I would buy in a shop, in a thrift store, to 3D printing them. Sometimes there's a guitar we made, sometimes a guitar we bought that was miniature. I think that's what makes it really interesting. There's no rules also to build everything or find things.
Also, Montreal has a phenomenal city for garbage. I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah, I mean, the things people throw out and the way they throw it out is unbelievable.
It's such a long process that you could find a piece of garbage in the street and not put it in the film for 4 years.
True.
You know, there's a little kind of bicycle cart that happened to be in our studio when we moved in.
Oh yeah, that was
It's a major piece of the.
Yeah, it was like this Portuguese landlord was like, this is the studio, and there was this little cart. Like it was like an ice cream
Like
cart.
a miniature ice cream cart, yeah.
And it was like, what is this? He's
Connected to a
I
bicycle.
have no clue why it's in their studio,
that
but you
the-
can have it. And it
Yeah.
was like, let's put it in the movie.
It's a major piece in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
It's one
It's
of
in
the
the
major
pawn
pieces
shop.
in the pawn shop. And I would say what's interesting because Patrick was involved, not pasting on a soundtrack, but coming from our last 2 projects and being part of the process, he had a similar experience where it was that you found like a piano that had an interesting note. So he was collecting sounds over the years as well.
Oh, weirder
what was
than that.
What was that sort? What was the piano with the?
I can't remember now.
Wasn't there something with the piano with
The
that had
Parisian
one note?
the
There
Parisian
was one-
piano.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
Wasn't there a piano in Paris that you found? That
there's
had
another piano in Paris that I use for for some of the themes. It's a 1-string piano instead of 3, which has this really beautiful tone. I wrote parts of the themes in Eastern Europe when I was doing that film thing on the Celeste. I mean, I just constantly when I work with them, I just collect all the shit and I send it to them, and then some things work and some things don't. But we always talk so early on that I always get excited and score the film like 6 times by accident.
For better or worse.
No, but in a fun way, just because they're fun ideas.
Well, you know what was different about this one? This is the first time we didn't make a direct effort to make you work against your instincts. Because that's what we've usually done. Your music is so inherently romantic and beautiful. I mean, well, we've been working together for like 15 years now.
Yeah.
And for the most part, we've always tried to subvert your instincts. We always try to make you do something that you wouldn't normally do on one of your records. And this was actually the first time when we needed exactly that.
Well, yeah, but on the flip side of this film, what's funny is that there's a large component of modular and electronic components to make this world work, and that's a bit to the way I attacked the pearl was definitely from synths. Almost all the entirety of the pearl scenes and the pearl sounds are all synths, like 1,000% electronic, and I thought that was also fun to counterbalance the romantic, or just like because it's an older looking kind of stop motion. I thought it was important to have a blend of some of those kind of more modern tones that even if it's hidden inside the soundtrack, but like even when the pearl falls, that's a synth. I still say, like, sometimes I'd be doing the music and I always say this, but the film would be on pause and then you actually get to take in the actual world they made, and I would highly suggest for people to pause it at home and just look at some of the scenes. It's totally mind-blowing.